Yo, what's going on, brother? Long time no motherfucking see.
Yo, man, dude, you gotta check this CD I just got. It's like dope as hell.
For sure. What is it about, man?
Oh, man, look, this is that Christian horrorcore, man. There ain't nothing like it.
Christian horrorcore? What the fuck, man? You better get on with that bullshit, dog.
No, man, you don't understand though. Look, like, it's that Christian horrorcore, dude. Like, cause it's like they're talking about slaughtering, you know? But they're talking about slaughtering in the name of God, man. Like demons and shit, you know?
Bitch, you have about 5 seconds to back off me before I grab that crucifix around your neck and stab you in your fucking eye socket.
Man, look, no, you don't understand. This can change your life. It can make you into this...
Bitch, you motherfucker. Don't fucking listen to this faggot ass Christian rap shit. Fuck Christian horrorcore.
Don't be reason why I'm here. I just wanna watch you die. There's no point for you to go to sleep at night. Migraine headache, just like the Exorcist. My whole bed shake. Bloody worship on the door. Bloody worship, bloody Rorschach on the floor. Bloody worship, can't take it anymore. Bloody worship, gotta make some.
Same old mask and the same old buck knife, same old pen and the same old pad.
Come on, we creating symphonies with the chainsaw. This ain't rated R, NC-17. Keep your eyes closed, it's about to be a murder scene.
You support that Christian horrorcore rap, you are a pussy fuck bitch.
No fucks given.
Yeah. Mercury, SDK, 6 ninjas. Make smoke like that. It's the nitty gritty from the city of sin. I done rolled up with cash and we getting it in. See me with my clique and we rolling with the six. So open up your lips and show up in the ditch. You know that I'm a prick, don't provoke me when I'm pissed. Or end up in the ocean trying floating with some bricks. Who the fuck let the animals out? You cocksuckers got nothing to be bragging about. It's been funny to see these lames coming at me, trying to front like they tough, then they jump on the D. I'm always on time when I'm smashing a beat. Oh, you soft like a pillow cause you vaginally. Cats cannot compete, smack a rat in the beat. Can't rap on a beat, then cats cracking your cheeks. We do it for the fun, we ain't looking to make it. Got your bitch at the crib, but she's cooking and spanking. Our bitch, we the dopest, y'all know this. Floating like a bomb hitting, y'all can't focus. 6 inches is a click, we spin, we gon' turn you out like a pregnant bitch, yeah. So what you get when you walk right past? The killer in the back in a red and black mask. The killer in the sack and a double-headed axe. I'm in it to get it to where the wicked shit at. You can talk all the shit that you wanna spit, but who's the bitch wearing the bulletproof vest? But that only proves who the fuck is dead next. I'll slice through your windpipe, now your name's death. A wigged out killer with a thirst for blood. I got a hot creepy bitch and shit we in love. I'm already dead, then I'm ready to fuck. Bodies on the ground and we covered in blood. I'm all about the fetishes, it's a wicked sickness. I'm sick as fit, this bitch is 6 ninjas. We the dopest that ever did live. Promises shit and every word is spit. Yeah. Bitch, we the dopest, y'all know this. Holding like a bomb hitting, y'all can't focus. 6 ninjas is a click, we spin, we gon' turn you out like a pregnant bitch, yeah. I am the dopest, you're most hopeless. Your whole corpus produce the weakest vocals. I never wanted to be the better, but honestly you're on the bottom. And my lobotomy is the way it ought to be. Fat stacks of porn mags and no pants. I broke bank for romance with slow dance. No sense, but opinions so throw them. Like fuck Benjamin, it's all about the boarding. So what you want is hypnotic, you're not a grass. Copacetic, embedded in blood red. I'm all about the wicked shit, so just witness this. I'm a part of the 6 ninjas, bitch. I'm a warlock bastard. Walk away laughing, talk shit after, get locked in a casket. You can smoke all the dope that you want, but your bitch should be smoking this bowl like a bomb. Bitch, we the dopest, y'all know this. Holding like a bomb hitting, y'all can't focus. 6 ninjas is a click, we spin, we gon' turn you out like a pregnant bitch, yeah. Make her smoke back down in the Crisco cannons. Your bitch is pregnant now.
racing. The demons calling, my heart is breaking. Psychologically, I'm fucked up, my mind gone from these drugs I've held on for too long. The street life was too much, forever I'll be damn working for the fucking devil. You will never be what I have been or be up on my level. I've made choices in my life that put me in this situation. Now I'm left with the demon, tell us what your boy is facing. Ain't no turning back now, I'm too far gone, this murder game. Fade away into the darkness, give it to a different name. My time's up, it's time to go. Travel down this lonely road. One more hit of a cigarette, I'm knocking down hell's door. Betray by the life I live. See how many shits I give. Kiss my little girl goodbye. The devil's got me time to fry. Voices in my head, always talking in circles, telling me to commit all these murders. Grab a knife and push it in first. Somebody help me, I think I'm going crazy. Voices in my head, always talking in circles, telling me to commit all these murders. Grab a knife and push it in first. Somebody help me, I think I'm going crazy. I hear voices in my head telling me suckers should be dead. All I see is red, nothing but bloodshed. I got a multi-personality, my life is reality till I finish them with the fatality. People push me over the limit, there ain't no turning back. I'm going crazy, nowhere close to lazy. Nobody can face me or compare to these racing thoughts. At times I think I see dead people, my symptoms all cannot equal. I see them haters wishing for a sequel. When I flip I get the tripping, fuck keeping it pimping. I will catch you slipping, murder is on my mind. Even when I'm on the grind, roach ain't never hard to find. You want it, come and get it. I done plotted my scheme to every fucking scene. All I do is think, my mind is like a memory bank. I can turn into a tank, I used to be eastbound, hunting like a hound. Bitch, you better motherfucking ask around. The voices in my head, always talking in circles, telling me to commit all these murders. Grab a knife and push it in first. Somebody help me, I think I'm going crazy. Voices in my head, always talking in circles, telling me to commit all these murders. Grab a knife and push it in first. Somebody help me, I think I'm going crazy. Voices in my head, always talking in circles, telling me to commit all these murders. Grab a knife and push it in first. Somebody help me, I think I'm going crazy. Voices in my head, always talking in circles, telling me to commit all these murders. Grab a knife and push it in first. Somebody help me, I think I'm going crazy.
You're listening to No Fucks Given Radio.
Fuck that, it's a promise.
This is JD that Hardaway. I'm representing the stoners, bro. Keep it schwanky. You can find me at Facebook, Jaywalking574.
What did you say?
Keep it schwanky.
What I just said.
Another day, another attempt at suicide. Sitting bedside with a 9 to my mind. Looking for something I won't find. I'm blind in the dark, cause I got no light to shine. I just pray my girl don't find me. I'm hoping y'all remember me and cherish my name as I down all these drugs and I walk towards my grave. I know I don't feel the same, but I find someone else to blame. All this anger and pain, it's a shame I couldn't change. The rap game got me fucked up, stomach always fucked up. I trust no one and I'm out of luck, and I feel I'm stuck in this fucked up rut. My gun is thick, it said I sink too deep and there's no coming back. It's hard to watch like a loved one getting slapped. I hate rap, wish I could take it all back. Only thing I don't regret is that you met Dark Hat and the fence that had our back as we walk this dark path. My exit is a blessing, I swear I'm done stressing.
We'll learn
felt it in my stomach. The warning signs were there, but who really gave a shit? Should I blame myself for this? All I can do is cry, point my middle finger towards the sky, and ask God why. Why did he have to die? Why'd you do this to us? We had so many plans and you fucked it all up. It ain't fair. I stare at the posters on my wall. On my knees I fall, place my hands on my face and ball, wishing that you call just one last time. I swear we can write some rhymes, we'll be in the studio all night. Garrett, I hope you're alright. No, I never wanted to fight, and I promise when you pass, I pray to walk you towards the light. The last days of your life, the wrecking tore us apart, and that's an empty void that will never fill my heart. But I knew from the start I was blessed to be a part of your life, and I thank you, Garrett, I love you. If I die tonight, would you wish me eternal bliss and happiness? Or do you wish I go to hell and rest in piss? If I die tonight, would you miss me? If I die tonight, would you wish me eternal bliss and happiness? Or do you wish I go to hell and rest in piss?
Yeah, what's up? Y'all can't see me. Look, here. What's up? Hey, we'll be live in a minute. For the moment, enjoy this motherfucking silence. I hope you enjoyed No Fucks Given Radio way more than you're going to enjoy this silence, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back in about 5 minutes, so just got a sound check. Yeah, I am the unknown factor. Don't go giving a fuck. What's up? We're on Facebook. Because, like, yeah, we're taking a minute.
What we do?
Trying to get
Crrow777
777 on the line. But I just didn't. There's, like, motherfucker watching. And, like, they just watch in silence. Now they just got me popping up randomly. Sorry about that, too. What you up to, bro?
What's up?
I don't know, man. Fucking looking forward
Working
to going
on
out,
graphics
catching
here.
that show tomorrow. Fucking, you're a dick for not coming out.
Yeah, it ain't my fault.
Fair enough. You know,
I want to be there.
sometimes you gotta work, ladies and gentlemen. That's just the fucking truth of the case. But here in a moment, for everyone out there watching, we're gonna be live with Aliens at my broadcast. Hey, I think we got Crrow777 in the room. I see him. Can I hear him? Crow?
Heard him beep in.
I see him, but I do not hear him. It's funny, ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman just actually had his YouTube channel pulled down fairly recently over some shit we're going to get into here in a little while, hopefully, as far as if we can get him on the line. So it's interesting that he can't even fucking call in because, DKB, you didn't have a problem.
Nah. Pretty crazy.
Now, if he's, real quick, if he's calling off a computer, which he may or may not be, I honestly don't know if he is,
Maybe his mic
he may have to adjust something with his settings.
Yeah, his mic or something. His mic might be muted or something.
Yeah, you might, if you're listening, Crow, and if you can hear me, and my wife's messaging you as well, it should be in your audio options in the Google Hangouts. You might have to go and adjust those settings depending on whatever kind of equipment you are or are not running. So, bitch, trust me, I know. I went through that whole process when we initially did this year. It was fucking radio, and every once in a while I got to do it again because of fucking, equipment upgrade. You know what I'm saying? I know you know that pain, DKB.
Happens.
Yeah. Like, I got a new piece of equipment. Now I'm going to fuck up some piece of audio in the process of trying to figure out this.
Yeah, and then you're like, why doesn't anything work? What the fuck?
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's the problem Crow's having right now because he's never used Google Hangouts in the capacity that he is at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we're not Skype people. We don't do that shit. I wonder, can he hear me, though? Did he say he can hear me? He's like, this motherfucker's on air just rambling. Just so you know, Crow, no, I'm only on Facebook Live. That shit don't count.
Hey,
it's
you
not
guys,
radio.
you guys got me?
Yeah,
Wait.
yeah.
You guys got
How the
me?
fuck did you just suddenly come in, dude? That was really weird.
Well, this is the first time I've set it up calling in this way, and I'm sitting there scrambling through every audio setting. I was beginning to wonder if Google had me blocked out or something, but I finally figured out how to unplug my USB mic and get it to register.
Man, I honestly was...
Yeah, I have to do that with my audio.
Sometimes, though, as far as plugging back in just to get a clear signal. Actually, that's what I did just a moment ago, DKB, when you were like, this motherfucker don't sound right. I was for real like, damn, Crow, did net neutrality get your ass already, though?
It's coming, isn't it?
Oh, shit. Hey, fuck that, though. Like I said, we just on Facebook Live, ladies and gentlemen. We ain't on that radio. So this shit don't count. What you heard don't count. Go to that fucking website you see in the description, though. Pick you up all kind of T-shirts with dope-ass fucking graphics on them, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to DKB for most of those fucking graphics on the For Real, bro. And then fucking, I think Demonic's on one of them. And then fucking, I'm trying to remember. Is it just Demonic and DKB's graphics? Is there somebody else's graphics up there? Why do I feel like Noose?
What about the Basic
I know
Club?
Noose has got, does Noose, yeah, Noose has got something coming we'll have as far as a graphic. But yeah, you can check out, there's T-shirt designs for all kinds of the shows, ladies and gentlemen. Super Nerd Tendo. This show we're about to do, Aliens in my broadcast. There'll be one coming soon for the No Fucks Given hour, just the No Fucks Given radio T-shirt. One for the No Bullshit zone. I know I got one coming
really
for Record
nice.
Relapse. I'm pretty sure I got one coming for the Blood Beyond the Mat as well, and some other shit. But babe, press that button. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're over at nofucksgivenradio.com right now, what you're hearing is the intro to Aliens Ate My Broadcast. It's way doper than listening to me ramble, ain't it, bro?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, what are you gonna do? Fuck it. That's why you should really listen to it on the radio, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying. Like, Facebook is weird. They want to look at my ugly ass face, bro.
It happens.
I'm gonna get your ugly ass face on here soon. Right? This is the countdown. I'm just gonna not say nothing while this intro plays. I'm just gonna sit here like on the Facebook, just
the book.
My wife says I'm being weird. God damn it, she's right. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're live. No fucks given radio. I am the unknown factor, and this is Aliens Ate My Broadcast. So you know I got Mr. DKB in the house. What's good, bro?
What's up, Factor?
Man, before we get into, like, every show we've done at this point, this is the 6th episode, ladies and gentlemen, over here at Aliens Ate My Broadcast. All the shows have just been me and DKB, discussing all kinds of different conspiracy theories, which we don't consider ourselves experts in any of them, just so everyone out there knows we're fucking idiot savants. Right, bro?
Right.
Yeah, idiot savants. Right? On conspiracy theories. We're the idiot savants up in this bitch, right? But, you know, we do suggest you get into it and, you know, don't believe what's necessarily put in front of you. But there is some shit that's been put in front of us recently, and that's the fact that net neutrality has been repealed, at least by the FCC. So we brought an individual that has been kind of highly affected by that as of recently. Crrow777, what is good?
Hey, man, what's going on? Thanks for having me on, guys.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for calling, yeah.
Crow, I just want to jump right into it. Because like I said, we just had this whole issue with net neutrality. But before that even happened, your YouTube just got, whoop, just down. You want to explain to everyone why that was?
Well, to be honest with you, it's a bit, well, we can surmise why they're doing what they're doing, but what they're telling folks leaves it in mystery land. I had nearly 80,000 followers when they terminated, and that was the language they used, terminated my channel. I had a third party serving the ads on my YouTube channel, and the reason I hired them is because they can talk to Google directly. Very few regular human beings in this world can, so I had hired them. They get a cut of the ads, which is pocket change at this point because Google takes all that money too. But they were interfacing with Google after they terminated my channel. And by the way, they used videos that had been up for over 2 years, and they gave me community guideline strikes where they said I was bullying someone. But anyhow, to get back to the point, this other entity that ran the ads could interface with them. They got emails back saying we're not going to reinstate Crow because we have a zero tolerance policy for hate speech. Not even kidding you. Anyone who's followed me understands I don't do hate speech. That's not what my channel or my podcast is about. But anyhow, I had the flu, I don't know, a couple weeks ago anyhow, and I get this damn email saying I've got a copyright strike on my YouTube channel. So I'm like, how can I be getting a copyright strike on a YouTube channel I don't have anymore? So I go drag my sick butt up, log on, and the email says, it's a copyright strike for an old THC Greg Carlwood interview you did, but don't worry, there's no strike associated. And I'm all, what? So I log in, and lo and behold, my YouTube channel is back. But here's the rub. I think this is what actually happened. They terminated me, and they had no intention of reinstating my channel. I branded what they were doing as the modern-day book burning, and I blitzkrieged every show I could get on Twitter. My Twitter numbers like tripled in a week when I started doing this. And I'm reasonably sure that thousands of people complained to Google, and that's actually what got the channel reinstated.
Wow.
That's fucking an insane story, man. And I think it does. I think I kind of agree with you as far as the modern day book burning, because I mean I've watched quite a few of your videos, Crow, and I've never seen anything to hate speech unless you want to say that you're hating on the fact that you're fully under the impression, and mind you, I agree with you in this, that we're being lied to as far as, you know, as a society by the motherfuckers in power. That's the only thing I would say is hate speech. And if you're calling that hate speech, then fuck you, because I was under the impression that fell under freedom of speech. But am I wrong?
Well, yeah. Well, I would point this out. There's no hate speech. The line for free speech. You know, I'm in my 50s, guys. I'm probably a bit older than you. The line for free speech is injury. That's always been the line. Back in the 70s. It was always said that you can't scream fire in a crowded theater because someone will get hurt if you do that. It's a reasonable thing to say. That is the line. So when they started giving me the bullying strikes, I fought back each time, not only with them, and they just dismissed what I did, but online and on every platform, on every show that would have me. And I said, if I've bullied someone, there's an injured party in this world. Produce your injured party. We do run a podcast, but you see, it's not hate speech. We're challenging the mainstream narrative, and we're challenging established scientific views. We're challenging NASA, but in no way, shape, or form could anyone ever come construe it as hate speech, because we do research for every episode. So yeah, I agree with what you said, and it is absolutely a fact. You could not construe what we've done as hate speech.
And first off, real quick, Bobby Waters, like, fuck you flat earthers. Bobby Waters is firmly against flat Earth. It's because at Pirate Fest, a bunch of us were debating him about it, and he was like, everybody shut up, this is making my head hurt. But it's because it was making his head hurt because he couldn't prove it one way or the other. Now, I personally am not a flat earther. I just don't think it's fucking been proven to me enough either way at this point, especially with a lot of shit I've fucking seen. But that's a whole different point. And that gets to the whole book burning, as far as why you called it that. Now, I just can't believe first off, what did they say was bullying? Did they specify what you were doing that was bullying?
Well, no. That's the thing. They hand you these nonsensical emails, and then they refer you to their community guidelines. I'm a pretty smart fellow, and I have stated on the record that I don't care if you're a damn PhD, you can't make heads nor tails of the community guidelines. They're so kind of broad as to catch anything they want. But here's what they did. There's a guy named Randy in Houston who also filmed one of the Lunar Waves, and he is about the most amiable man you'll ever meet in your life. He's a Southern man, just polite to the gills. Well, I had a show with him, which was one of the guideline strikes I got. But we talked about one of the nonsensical shootings that had gone on during the time. We didn't even talk about it that much. So that was one of the bullying strikes. And that was over 2 years old, closer to 3 years old, that clip, when they gave it the strike. The thing that terminated my channel was a Lunar Wave video that I didn't even shoot. A guy down in North Carolina shot it, and he sent it up to me and said, will you run this on your channel so a bunch of people can get to see it? And I said, yeah, sure. So that's what they gave me the strike for. And that's when I branded the modern day book burning, which was a guy named Dave J. People love to hate him. People love to love him. Whatever you think about Dave J., he's not wrong about a lot of things. Hard to get along with sometimes, yeah, but not wrong. He came in when I had got my second strike, and he wrote in the comments section on YouTube, this is a modern day book burning. Well, as the day went on, I kept thinking about that. And I said, you know what? Every time they bring us false news, they brand it. One of the big brands they love to use lately is Active Shooter, that brand. So I said, I'm going to turn it about and put it right in their face. And I put the modern day book burning meme out. And let me tell you something, it caught on like wildfire, because I said this. I said 300 years from now, if someone came back to look at the video, even if it was just a little girl playing with a hula hoop, that would be an accurate historical account of that moment in history. In my case, I had 4 solid years of telescopic observation that they just so blithely swept aside. So for whatever reason, it touched a spot with a lot of people, and by the boatloads, they started complaining. And I think that's what undid the termination.
Now, real quick, and you said the thing that caused that was the wave. DKB, I want to ask, man, you seen that? What's your opinion of that fucking, what he caught and got him in trouble?
I don't know.
Well, he didn't, but he put it up on his channel.
Right. Yeah, I saw it. I don't really know what to make of it, but it's just crazy that they're trying to hide it.
Well, don't feel bad. Nobody knows what it is for sure.
Yeah, yeah, I can wrap my head around it. I've never seen anything like it, and
well,
it seems authentic.
There's a story behind that. You know, it was actually, believe it or not, Yom Kippur of all nights in 2012, right there at the fall equinox, that I accidentally filmed the first and best example of the lunar wave. People came and told me, relentlessly rode me. I even had to change emails and stuff. That's how we got the Crrow brand, because so many people were up my butt telling me I faked it. A year and a half went by, and I filmed it again. So here I was the only guy in the world that had ever filmed it twice. And then the heat really went on. Finally, a guy in Germany shot it. And up to the modern day, I don't know, I'm guessing we have somewhere between 20 and 30 people that have filmed it. So that's kind of the backstory there. And no one knows for sure what it is. What we know is that it shouldn't be there. What we know is there's no description of it. And we have space agencies that should be filming the moon nonstop. So that's what we know, and that's what we don't know.
Yeah, now for anyone out there that doesn't know what this is, I'm trying to, man, Crrow, I mean, you've watched this probably more than anyone, and I mean, you've actually observed it while it happened. How would you describe this to someone if they hadn't seen it?
This is the most popular kind of description that gets offered. If you were like back in the day and you had a tube TV and you took a video camera and filmed something on the video camera, there would be like a rolling refresh wave that you would film. That's what it looks like, except this is what's happening. It's what's happening to the moon. And this was shot with high-end telescopes, big high-end telescopes, and very good DSLR cameras. And it's been proven that it's not equipment failure. As a matter of fact, the first one I filmed, I've been digital as the internet came to be. I have a degree in internet technology, so I'm a digital person. But when I watched it happen at first, I thought something had failed, and it bugged me for weeks. And finally, I actually deleted that clip into the trash can, believe it or not. But that night, I realized that the camera pan would allow me to prove that it was a filmed event. And from that point forward, it really became a thing. Not only that, there are people out there, Jungle Surfer, other people who have been on the scene that claim that the Flat Earth movement started about a month after I started posting all my moon footage, because people started looking up so much and questioning, where it is we exist.
I got Bobby asking, was the moon round like a dick? Shout out to Lando in the room, though. You have to party.
Well,
you have to pardon Bobby Waters.
Maybe that's not a dick question. Is he asking if it's a globe or if it's round? I mean, we can see that it's round, but I think it's arguable if someone wants to tell me it's a globe.
I think it's a hologram.
See, the wife's saying hologram, and I mean, with that wave sequence, I mean, that makes it more believable because, like I said, I've seen that, and it looks like some kind of reset or something. Is there, I wish I'd gone more into this. Is there a time frame for how often that happens? Like, is it in any kind of sequence?
Well, here's the thing, man. I accidentally filmed the first one in 2012. It's right at the fall equinox. Intuitively, I began to talk about possibly this occurred at equinoxes. Well, as fate would have it, most of them have been filmed around the spring equinox, but now it's been so long. We have them near the summer solstice, and we didn't for the longest time have any captures in the winter. That might be because people don't film as much when it's cold. I don't know. But we do have, I think, one capture in the winter. But that was my bad. At first, I tried to describe it as a hologram, and that was a big mistake because people got hung up on, well, how would that work? How would the technology put in place? So I switched what I was saying, and I said, it's like a facade. And then that was the similar problem where people got hung up. So this is how I tried to describe my impression of the moon, having spent 4 solid years filming nearly nonstop. The moon is not a rock in space. I don't think anyone could walk on it, even if they wanted to. It likely produces its own light. And on the tail of all the eclipse work I did, and so many of us are aware that in 2017 we just had a big deal full solar eclipse, that was the last one that allowed me to finally make the statement that the moon plays no role in a solar eclipse, and that's provable. It's not really an arguable point from my point of view. So the moon is not what we think it is. How about that?
I totally agree. I mean, we talked about it, Factor.
Yeah, I mean,
a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, it's one of, was that I think the second episode, ladies and gentlemen? If you want to hear me and DKB bicker back and forth about what we think the moon isn't, because I agree. I mean, it's theorized everything from it's hollow to it's a fucking base to it's flat, it's a hologram, it's cheese is actually, but that's a bullshit theory. I love how my wife wants to throw that out, though.
It's cheese.
It's cheese. She threw that there. That's for you, Bobby. It's cheese. That's the real conspiracy. For real, it's just the Matrix. I mean, there's so many fucking things, and I'm prone to agree it's not what it said it is. Especially the videos that you've seen from NASA, stating that like we can't get back to the moon now. Like, are you what?
Right. There it is,
lost
man.
That technology.
Yeah, there it is, man. 1968. We in earnest say we're going to the moon and we're bringing a man back safe. By the end of 69, we've done it. Well, we're more than 50 years down the frickin' road, and they just keep kicking the can. They've got a lie to cover up. China's claiming they got a robot on the moon right now, and of course, that all failed shortly after they got it there. Look at Sir Richard Branson. Now they're trying to privatize space corporations so they get NASA the hell out of Dodge for all the lies it's told. Sir Richard Branson, after 14 years, a couple years ago, had just blown up something else on the launch pad. And when people said, dude, you've been at this for 14, 15 years, I forget what it was, what's the problem? He quotes the JFK, we're going to the moon space, and he says, it turns out space is hard. So here in the modern age, with all the technology, a private corporation can't even take a vehicle to the edge of space, drop it back down to Earth, and then reuse it. That's where we're at.
See, yeah, and that's odd. If you look at when we apparently went to the moon, like look at where phone technology and fucking cell phones and computers were, and look at where they are now. And fucking what?
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on. They claim that the computing power on these non-existent imaginary moon missions was less than is in like a desktop calculator. We're told we have quantum computers now, guys. Not only that, all the original footage from the Apollo missions is missing, but what's more is all the telemetry data is also missing. You see, it's better to get caught in nonsense like that than it is ever for anyone to get their hands on that evidence, because in the modern age, we'd rip that crap to shreds.
Hey, I got, real quick, Bobby's fucking, first off, he wants to know why would we go back to the moon? Because, first off, Bobby, do you honestly think that in those few short of trips that we collected all the data that was possible and found out everything we could about the moon as far as it being a resource to us as a race, right? Again, my wife's saying you can't because it's not there. Again, totally speculation one way or the other. I can honestly believe either. And then there's nothing we can't see without radar and telescopes. There is nothing we can't see without radar and telescopes, guys. Did you know that?
Well, let me go at that question. Let's look at it from a common sense point of view. Besides the fact that supposedly the Russians were in a death race with us to the moon, the moment the U.S. supposedly put its boot down, Russia said, okay, the Americans beat us, that's it. We'll never complete this mission. But set all that aside. In the 80s, for those who are old enough to remember the 80s, there was this whole thing called the Star Wars program that President Reagan was claiming he was going to put these weapons in space. Well, let me tell you something. If the moon could be landed on, it is the ultimate high ground. Not only is it the ultimate high ground, it has the same face facing Earth all the time. So from a military standpoint, it would be the ultimate place to control. And that's not what we see. And the reason is I'm with your wife, man. I think what she is saying comes a hell of a lot closer to actuality than any of the other nonsense I hear. It's more fitting to call the moon an illusion than try to describe it out in any other way, in my view.
All right. Well, real quick, fucking If it's not there, then I know you've heard the thing where they said they fired rockets at it and it rang like a bell.
Yeah, poppycock. They've claimed they were going to hit the moon with things over and over and again. Every time I had at least a 10-inch telescope on it. At one point a 12-inch and currently an 11-inch telescope. The lacrosse, all these other things, I've forgotten the names of them. And every time before they did, I said, you know what we're going to see? We're going to see nothing, because nothing hits the moon. You know, there's one thing we know about being living human beings, and every one of us here can confirm it. The one thing we know is true is change. Every moment we exist, there's change. You want to know something? Since the day I first put my eyes on the moon, it has never changed. And I started to question this back in the day and said, well, how come there's, you know, we're told there's meteorites. I've been out here filming for 4 years. I've probably seen hundreds of what we were told are meteorites burning through our atmosphere. How come nothing ever hits the moon? And lo and behold, NASA produces what they call a 4K video of a space rock hitting the moon. And it was the most laughable piece of crap you've ever seen. It was black and white, grainy. They called it 4K. And you see this little, like, 5-frame white blip, like a little white light. And they say, yep, there it is. It hit the moon. And I immediately made a clip, and I asked the question, at what point does NASA's moon video need to be better quality than the video I'm producing in my backyard? But the point is it's all a bunch of poppycock.
Crow, I love you. Real quick, I just got to point out, though, Bobby, you're saying you couldn't put weapons on it because nobody owns the moon? Motherfucker, we didn't own... First off, we didn't own this country. We took it. I just want to point that shit out. Like,
yeah, really.
How many times has the human race put weapons where they fucking didn't own it? What the fuck are you talking about? That's what we do.
What do you think militaries exist for? So they can go wherever the hell they want, regardless of what they own. You want to talk about Vietnam? You want to talk about any supposed war we've ever had? I mean, come on. That argument holds less water than Little Liza's bucket.
Wait, oh my god. So, I'm going to throw this at you, Crow. We're going to see what you said. This is from Pirate King Bobby Waters. He's an underground artist we associate with over here at No Fucks Given Radio, just so you know, Crow. So you just got an underground artist from the underground just fucking with you right now. He wants to know, if there's no space, then how come when I smoke DMT I can go there?
Well, that's actually a good question, and I just want to state for the record, I love artists. I love creative people, but let's talk about that for a minute. I have stated outright that in my view, nothing leaves what I consider to be a closed system. There is some kind of a hard, fast boundary between what we call low Earth orbit and what we call space. In my view, no man or machine has ever left this place and gone into what we call space. But that's a whole other thing. If you want to talk about ayahuasca or DMT, I could even talk about the Tibetan monks who just used lifetimes of meditation, who said they've gone out. Who can't forget the old woodcut, that alchemical woodcut of the guy like poking his head out of the dome to see what's out there? I have no problem with someone telling me in meditation or using higher mind techniques that they left this place. But I'll tell you what, you'll have a hard time convincing me anyone took their body or a machine. So that's where I would come from there.
Okay, but in other words, as far as like an astral projection type scenario, you believe in that. You have belief in that.
I followed a lot of the Eastern religions for many, many years because I was interested in meditation. I've met people that are higher-minded people. It's incredible to talk to them. You can see just by looking in their eye that they're making you feel like you're wearing diapers. Yeah, I absolutely believe that the human mind is an amazing thing, and I have never done it myself because I don't have that ability, but I've heard many accounts of people leaving this plane or going into what is called space in meditation, or even using things like ayahuasca, which would be maybe a more tribal approach.
That's just really exiting the matrix.
My wife said that's really just exiting the matrix.
Your wife may be right. You know, it was funny. I was just looking at a clip where someone was interviewing Keanu Reeves, the star of The Matrix, and they said something to the effect of, "Don't people ask you if this is the Matrix all the time?" And he said, "Yeah, I get that a lot." And the guy said, "Well, but it's not really." And Keanu looked at him and said, "Well, it's not the Matrix, but it's Matrix adjacent."
Well then, that's
whatever that means. Maybe we all need some DMT right now.
Right.
no. See, I still look, DKP. I'm sticking with it. When you go out to the Skinwalkers Ranch and trip DMT right there, get godlike. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. That would be a trip.
It could work. It could. It probably is a bad idea, though. What do you think, Crow? And I say the Skinwalkers Ranch just because it's known for every kind of activity you could think of, and, you know, DMT is known for opening you to such things. So to do that in that situation, I don't know, it could kill you, I guess, possibly.
In my view, everything we see is earthbound technology. I don't believe, you know, these, even when I just mentioned that I'd been out there for 4 years filming and these fireballs come in, those are not rocks from space. This is like an alchemical closed system in my view. Nothing is added, nothing is subtracted from this place we live. It's also misdescribed. And I'm not a member of the Flat Earth Society. I don't join groups, but I will flat out say this place is misdescribed. So what that society is at least challenging, they should be challenging. My point here is this. I filmed a lot of weird things. Anyone who's been to my YouTube channel will see some of the most bizarre things. My wife filmed a vortex that was only visible in full spectrum camera. I filmed this weird orb in a chemtrail that shoots like a plasma beam. That's the closest I've ever come to having filmed something or seen real evidence that I know is real, because I filmed it myself thinking, what the hell is that? But at the end of the day, there's nothing I haven't filmed that I wouldn't classify as terrestrial technology. And, you know, you guys got to realize, usually technology that we're allowed to see is many, many, many years behind what they actually have going. Think of the stealth, the B-1 bomber, the stealth bomber, you know, how long that was around where people were reporting UFOs. But now you can go to an air show, you know, and see it any old time you want. It's like that. So you've got to imagine with quantum computing capability, and Lord only knows what other types of computing capability, what technologies we might actually be able to bring to bear. Even maybe things like cloaked planes, cloaked jet, who knows? Adaptive paint jobs have been around for a long time. My point is, I've never seen any evidence that would allow me to accept that aliens exist here in the way they've been described to us. Not only that, we've done podcasts showing that H.G. Wells basically invented the idea of the gray alien, and then the modern construct of the reptilians was brought forward by some college professor, I forgot his name, but he lifted that shit from Conan the Barbarian. So there's all that.
See, yeah, fuck, I got Bobby saying those fireballs are aliens and they're coming to check on their creation. So you don't believe that we've had contact with alien life in any way, shape, or form then?
What I can say is this. I can't tell you, if we live in a true universe, I can't tell you what may or may not be alive. What I can tell you is the evidence for the modern kind of ufology idea that started at Roswell is all social programming. It's just nonsense. And that sets aside that we know what happened on the 33rd parallel and all the other nonsensical programming, New World Order type of things we can show. We can even show who did it. The Tavistock Institute did it. There's documents, and that's when we tracked it back to H.G. Wells. I don't know who's been here or who's not. I can't tell you who lives, whatever the hell is outside of our atmosphere, but I can tell you that modern ufology is basically built on social programming, and places like Tavistock have taken the credit for that nonsense.
See, yeah, that's I don't know, man. It's just all fucking absurd. And the more I look at it, the more it bothers me, because you can't figure out what's real and what's not. But what I got to say is, regardless, ladies and gentlemen, Howl at the Moon. I don't give a fuck if it's there or not. But this is Howl at the Moon by King Gordy. We'll be right back. Except for y'all on Facebook. Look, y'all on Facebook, for real, if you want to go hear fucking some dope tracks over on No Fucks Given Radio, go fucking NoFucksGivenRadio.com right now. Otherwise, you know, we'll be back in a sec. Hey, but check it out, man. We are going to go on Facebook right now, ladies and gentlemen. Just on this Facebook shit, though. Look, if you ever on No Fucks Given Radio, what you're hearing right now is 8 Legs with Jumpsuit. Yeah, that's Mr. 8 Legs. You know that motherfucker who does that art shit? Yeah, he raps, too.
Dope.
Yeah. My wife done told him to call in. DKB.
God damn it. No.
That's what I said. God damn it, babe. What were you thinking?
You got the phone number up there. It's not like you don't know he can.
I mean, that is true.
Right. That is true.
Yeah, it's not like it's obvious, like the fuck call in and it's scrolling right by me.
It's up there.
Jesus Christ, motherfucker. Hey, but hold on, that's besides the point. We ain't got Crow. Crow's still pissing. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're live. No Fucks Given Radio. Right? I am your host, the Unknown Factor. Fucking, you know, we're still fuck off. Aliens in my broadcast. Yeah, I got DKB in the house.
In the house.
Yeah, man. And, I think Crow got temporarily abducted by the aliens that he does not believe in.
All right, I'm back, man.
He's back.
There he is. Crow's back. Hey, Crow, what do you got to say to the fact that Bobby said when he was younger, aliens landed in a private lake in Michigan Strawberry Lake?
Well, I can actually address that, man. I was doing some Russian research early on, and I kind of walked away from this guy because he started talking about alien spiders and stuff. But he may have been one of the only other people to describe the lunar wave. But he had stated that Lake Michigan is a real hot spot. As fate would have it, I was up there at this family thing, and we were camping on the lake. I have never seen more bizarre things in the sky over Lake Michigan than anywhere else. And again, I don't buy into modern ufology. I can't tell you what's out there. I assume most of it's just earthbound technology that we're not aware of. But I'll tell you what, first person that gets up around Lake Michigan and has like night vision equipment and good film equipment, they'll catch some crazy things, man, no doubt. I even saw things going into the water and out of the water.
Yeah, that's a little nutty. That's a little nutty.
All right.
Well, man, like I said, this is Aliens Eat Your Broadcast. We usually keep conspiracy theory over here. But like I said, with what you've got going on, what's going on just in the general world right now, I mean, what's just, let me just ask Crow. Or no, fuck that. Crow, you hold on. Much love, though, for stopping by. DKB, what's your initial opinion of the net neutrality and everything that's going down?
It's definitely not good, it doesn't sound like. I don't really know much about it, which is what, basically we have Crow on here. He's going to kind of explain exactly what it is, because I'm really not too much sure, but it doesn't sound good from what I know.
I agree, and I'd like to honestly, I know for a fact, Crow, you know more than I do. I think I might know a bit more than DKB, so the level kind of goes up. My wife probably knows more than me, and then it's you, Crow. So can you inform everybody in depth out there listening, you know, myself, DKB, and the wife, about net neutrality and the effect that it's going to have on us as a society, and for that matter, why it doesn't matter that it only got enacted in 2015 for the dumbasses that like to say that. I swear to fucking God.
All right, man. Here's the thing. What you will find about laws like this, or acts, or whatever the hell they want to call it, that get passed, is they always say one thing up front, and after they get it jammed through the pipe, all these other things happen. It's just about positioning where they want to be. The big thing right now online is censorship, and net neutrality is going to open the door in a massive way to censorship. That's what's coming. And what they have been doing is using fake news violence, fake terror, pedophilia, this kind of thing to push the censorship agenda. Who listening isn't aware that something like, 18 or 20 celebrities in the news right now are in trouble for sexual misconduct? It's social programming. It's just nonsense. It's playing into this push where they're going to have corporations, dead entities that have no life, trying to control the free speech of living men and women. That's what's going on. And very few people are aware The free speech, if you read, how it's actually laid down for us in America, it's basically saying that the government cannot infringe free speech. But you see, this is already off the rails because our government has already been telling places like Twitter and Facebook to censor people under the guise of trying to find extremist content. And I would point out, and I'm a technical dude and I have a technical degree, it is not that hard to remove an offensive video. It's the easiest thing ever. YouTube's done it to me on a number of occasions. They just did it with 2 International Space Station videos. And by the way, guess who held the copyright? Copyright for International Space Station videos is held by, get this, Believe Entertainment. I kid you not. But to get back to the main point, this whole net neutrality thing is meant to do one thing. It's going to put more power in the hands of very big corporations. And one of the main agendas right now, well, it's always about money. Of course, prices of everything will change, particularly streaming, particularly people who do what you do or I do, stream content. But yeah, but to set that aside, this is going to come down to controlling information and censorship.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but for real, like, that's the thing with this, like, especially with the censorship, and yeah. But go ahead, Crow. Yeah.
Well, they're going to aim, a lot of this is probably going to be handled by bandwidth. It's going to be the idea of streaming. So let's take that apart for a second. Look at how YouTube came to be the king of all video. Basically what they did is they bought a company that was invented, by the way, from people who came from PayPal. That should tell everybody something. You think this was just dudes in their garage? Think again. Anyhow, in whatever it was, 2006, I think it was $1.6 billion with $1.6 billion with a B that they bought that for. At the time, it was a crap load of money. Anyhow, they buy it. They go out, they buy servers, they buy all the bandwidth, and they tell everyone in the world, come one, come all, who walk or crawl. Give us your 2-hour video, your 4-hour video, your 4K video, any damn video you want. We will eat the bandwidth, the serving, all of it. We'll eat it all. Now, eventually, ads catch up and they start making revenue. As last time I heard, 86% of Google's revenue is ads. So at some point, ads began to matter. But in the beginning, they did not. They ate all that cost. To this day, if I want to go to my private website and take 3 videos that are HD that I have running on YouTube right now, cost me roughly $30 a month. And that's providing I don't get a gazillion hits and drive the bandwidth up. So you can see the construct of what they've done with bandwidth. And, net neutrality, it'll probably come down to things like the things that they've stated and talked about, like, let's take Netflix. They'll probably start charging Netflix more because they're streaming all this content. If Netflix has to pay more, then all the users have to pay more. Then there's probably going to be internet tiered systems like, your home uses this much bandwidth, so here's your cost, these types of ideas. It's hard to know where this goes, but there is zero doubt this will be a major brick in the wall of censorship, the push to control information and what people can talk about.
Well, I got Bobby in the comments. He's saying that one, they'll never get away with it. People won't stand for it. I think you're wrong there, Bobby. I think you underestimate what the mass of people will stand for. It's kind of terrifying.
Let me cut in here, and I'm sorry. Bobby, power to you, brother. Get everyone to think in the way you're thinking. In the same way I had a YouTube channel terminated and the community stood up, I now have a YouTube channel. So I'm hearing what both you guys are saying. I'm worried that on the one hand, what I'm hearing in my left ear is correct. But Bobby, fight the power, man. You got the right attitude.
He's right, and I agree. But there's this problem, man. You realize that it was like 81% of the population was against the fucking repeal of net neutrality as it was.
Well, let's take that apart. Who controls information systems? We have no way to frickin' know any of the actual polling numbers. And I would also point out, Jason, my co-host on Crrow777radio.com, where I do my podcast, we showed what modern polling is. There is one place in this country that will put together any poll in less than 24 hours and shape the numbers in any way the people who have hired them to put it together will. And on top of that, they insert the social programming tenants into the polls that go out. As a matter of fact, the polls you hear on the news that state things like 85% of Americans believe this bullshit or that. It's all a construct. So I would point out that, well, yeah, that's probably what was reported. We really don't have an accurate way to understand what's truly in the minds of the majority of the people.
So do you think there's a way to achieve that? I'm curious.
Yeah, man, listen to Bobby. Fight the damn power. Stand up. Set aside, if you're a person who doesn't think the earth is flat, don't be at odds with a person who does. Set these petty things aside. This is just variety in our system. And by the way, a system with a lot of variety is hard to socially program. If someone believes in aliens and you don't, so what, man? They're a fellow human being. Come together, because now this is going to matter. Net neutrality is going to matter, and free speech above all things matters. A culture without free speech is little more than herd animals. And I'm not even kidding you. Back in the 70s, if they would have went at free speech like they're doing now, there would have been freaking hell to pay. People have been on their porch with shotguns. I'm not even kidding, just to try to figure out what was on their library cards. So what I would say is back people like Bobby. When they say something like this, say, hell yes, I'm with you. And look around the room you're in and get everyone else with you, regardless of what they believe. The community does have the power. The people who pull this crap off really have no power. They have fear and they have mind games. And people who push against that, as I just did with my YouTube channel, sometimes David wins and Goliath falls. Sometimes that happens. And if we recognize these things, then there is always hope. That's my point of view.
Well, let me ask you, and this is a question I think I'm going to start posing more often. I think I've posed it actually in past No Fucks Given hours. How do you think it is that we make it to where we level the playing field more than it is now? Because obviously at the moment, it's not level. And you're right, it's a deception of power. The power's not truly there, but the deception is, so technically the power is, though it's false. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. It's a construct. It's a mind game. It's, you know, so many times, like in royal circles, you'll see the snake symbolized. Well, what is it about a snake? A snake doesn't have any claws or any legs. He has to use his cunning, right? And his mind. That's basically the allegory being made there. It's like so many of the institutions, whenever you hear something repeated over and over and over on television, like, you know, there's only three things that matter: paying taxes, death, and whatever the hell the other one is. This is programming to convince you to do these things. We don't have to do anything. If we're truly living human beings, we can decide anything we want. The problem is we've been convinced that the people in charge have our best interests at heart. Well, unfortunately, we've come to a time where we can begin to show that's just not the case. And in terms of free speech, see, the problem here is the older people can remember the time before, and they appreciate on a level that many listening right now probably don't, the importance of free speech. But when they begin to lock down what search returns come, like say the ISPs get all this power they're supposed to in the net neutrality, and they begin to be able to determine what gets searched and what gets given in a search return, sites like mine will be thrown by the wayside and silenced in that way. So, you know, really things like freedom of speech are going to show the way. But how do we level the playing field? Let me tell you something. As long as we have technology, it's going to be a problem because we don't control technology. All of the internet is controlled by some hidden hand behind a keyboard somewhere. We don't even know who the hell they are or where the hell they are. It's always going to be a problem. It's almost like that idea out of the old sci-fi book Dune. If anyone's read that book, remember the Butlerian Jihad. There was like a whole war in that universe that was fought over computers. And when the war was over, anyone who had a computer would be put to death. It's that kind of idea. And technology is never going to make a level playing field an easy thing because the deck is stacked against us all.
So anonymous then. That's the answer. Hey, shout out to Steve Burton, who obviously is a fan of yours, man. I mean, do you know, I take it, do you know Steve Burton, Crow? Or is he just a fan? I assume
I'm not
your shit.
I guess
he loves it. He loves the conspiracy shit.
I'm not sure. The name may ring a bell, but you've got to realize that I keep pretty much to myself, and I get so many emails in a day, I just have a hard time keeping up with names.
Yeah, I agree. Do you find yourself getting so you get a lot of emails about people just telling you things in the conspiracy world and like they found this or that or videos and such?
Well, mostly right now, I don't communicate as much on YouTube because that's just data collection platform. So I pretty much just monitor the comments. If someone's being a total pain in the butt, I may remove them from the conversation if they're there just to cause trouble. But other than that, I don't do a lot of interaction. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, these things are just data collection platforms. That's why they're there. But over on my site, Crrow777radio.com, I get a lot of emails. And yeah, some people are doing what you just described, but many of them have been listening to the episodes and they're getting involved in that conversation and maybe trying to think about the world in a different way. So it comes from all corners, but mostly right now it's about the content, the podcast that Jason Lindgren and I put out every week.
Now, I'm curious, what made you decide to want to start doing this in that aspect, man? I mean, you obviously had an interest into looking into this, but what made you want to what made you want to put it out and, put it out to the people?
You know what, man? It's a bit like Bobby's comment. Most of us feel like we're, circling the drain. There's nothing we can do. We feel hopeless. The powers that be are trampling us. And what I have come to understand is that one person who tries best they can sometimes make a difference. And that's been the main thing. When I did all those years of telescopic work and began to realize the extent of the nonsense we've been told in our lives, that was one thing. And then early on, Greg Carlwood over at THC started to want to interview me. Those were some of the most, at the time, popular interviews on his podcast. And from there, I decided to launch my own, and it's taken off like wildfire. There's a lot of people out there all over this world, almost every country with an internet connection, that are interested in the things we're talking about and want to get involved in the conversation and want to look at the world in a different way and want to take the point of view that people who try can, in fact, make a difference. So there's the long answer.
No, that wasn't the long answer, man. I could have gave you a way longer one, I promise.
And that's what net neutrality is trying to kill.
I'm sorry, I only caught about half of that.
I said, and that's what the net neutrality is trying to get rid of.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to realize that when YouTube comes along and strikes the videos that have been playing for a couple years when they could have just removed them and then terminates a channel, that tells you something. That tells you something critically important about where we are right now. But what is really critically important is what happened next. A whole community of people began screaming, man, this sucks, knock it off, put it back, modern day book burning, and look, the channel is back up. So it goes to show that people who are thinking like Bobby is, and other people out there who understand the power of a single human being that wants to put effort, sometimes you get eaten by the bear and sometimes you eat the bear. But if you don't try, you'll never know which way it can go.
See, and the crazy thing is that's why we hit you up over everything as far as your YouTube getting fucking canceled. And then after we booked this interview, net neutrality gets fucking repealed by the FCC anyways. So I swear it's like we booked it. Like we booked this interview with you, Crow, and shit got worse. What the fuck did you do?
I did what all of us should be doing. I stood up and I flipped off the people in power and I said, I am a living man and I do not consent for this nonsense. And not only do I not consent, things like free speech are a natural born right, not inalienable, not all this legal beagle nonsense. I was born with the right to speak my mind and to think what I will think and to freely express what I want as long as I'm not injuring anyone. So that's what I did.
And then the FCC looked right back at you, Crow, and went, oh, yeah? Fuck you. And they repealed net neutrality.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens when people start getting bigger bills. Yeah. You see, mostly what happens with things like this is they implement it by inches. There's this idea called the Overton window, where things are implemented into our world without ever changing a law, a rule, anything. And what happens is they introduce this thing, and when it first comes into the world, it's unacceptable to almost everybody. as that Overton window moves to the right, it becomes, well, this is a thing that happens, but it pisses us off. Then it moves a little further to the right, and people are all, this is just a damn thing that happens. By the time that Overton window makes it all the way to the right side of the graph, not only is it thing that happens, but people expect it to happen. I suspect net neutrality will be much like this. They will implement it by inches and slowly slide a new reality. It's like the book Animal Farm. You know, in the book Animal Farm, the animals can't remember what happened 4 years ago. And because of that, their whole world is shifted into an unacceptable place. That is what's going to be that's what's going to be attempted with net neutrality, in my view.
Thanks for being depressing.
Well, it's really not. You got a community that's listening to you. If you guys are saying the right things and doing the right things, then that community, maybe they'll back you to push against this stuff. You've got to realize that the people implementing this stuff are hiding behind corporation, hiding behind laws, and praying to God that some leader doesn't emerge that tells everyone to pick up a torch and say, F this. Because if enough people do, look what happens. I mean, they 86'd my YouTube channel, but now it's back. Why is it back? Because enough people stood up and said, F you, this will not stand. So it's not that gloomy. It's just that they make it feel like you don't have a chance. They make you feel like a snowball in hell, like you ain't got a prayer, but that's really not the truth. The truth is that if you stand up for what you know to be correct and you get your community with you and you embrace other people, even if they think differently than you do, there is way more than a snowball's chance in hell. My YouTube channel proves it.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. I do. It's just the thing of getting people together and hopefully making it to where you can get enough people together to stop said snowball before it's too big to be stopped. You know what I mean?
That's the thing.
And again, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen,
people are scared to stand up for it.
Huh?
People are scared to stand up, though. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why you need.
It's easier to follow.
Well, yeah, that's why you need a leader. That's why you need a few people here and there, and people who run a podcast. I mean, you're already standing up, right? You're poking your head out of the weeds. You're leading a podcast. That makes you a leader on some level. That's why you need leaders to say, hey, guys, this is not in any of our interests. Let's push against this. You're right. A lot of people don't want to be the leader, and that's fine. All people are different. All people can do whatever they can do. Point is if you get a few people out there who are like by proxy leaders, not really leaders, just kind of showing the way, the power of the people is an astounding thing. And since net neutrality is not going to be good for the people, it's not even that hard a pitch to make, right? Because it's not helping any of us.
Yeah, I fully agree. And like I said, for everyone out there, keep in mind that's still got to pass through the House. Remember, it's the House, right? It's the House that still needs to pass through.
Congress, I think.
Or the repeal.
Yeah, the other part of the corporation called the United States.
Yeah. So I mean, keep in mind, fucking, write the motherfucking your representative in the House, Well, I fucking, if 1,000 motherfuckers from every state write every motherfucker though, they might have to be like, shit, this, like, yo, dude, we're gonna piss our whole
That might be
state
that
off.
one vote that sways it. You know what I mean?
You're right. That's a show of power. You're absolutely right. If 10,000 people contacted, that is a show of force. That is a show that the natives are discontent. And the one thing in a system like this they cannot have is the natives being discontented. That's this whole game, That's why there's fluoride in your water. That's why healthcare in this system is basically pills. That's why the nutrition in your food is as low as it is. It's all designed to keep the natives from getting restless. So hell yeah, if 10,000 people ping their congressman, big deal. That's a show of force.
So yeah, ping your fucking congressman. Tell that asshole you want net neutrality to stay where the fuck it is. And look, well, yeah, for real, because I want to watch my porn. We run 3 chicks, 1 prick, as well as slings, flings, dinglings on this motherfucker, all right? And not only that, I know it would affect us. And fucking, I don't understand the people that are like, don't you trust the corporations? This shit was only enacted in 2015. And my brain, and let me just ask you guys, there's part of me that's just, when I hear that statement, I'm like, dude, are you retarded? Do you not honestly understand how fucking recently the internet was like developed and it has become what it did, and that's why it had to put regulations on it? Do you really trust a bunch of fucking corporations to run this shit with the benefit of the people in mind? I mean, look what the banks did. Are you like, what are you?
But you've got to also realize that most people get their information from a news outlet. There is no news outlet in this world anymore that is giving you news. What they're giving you is social programming and agenda. Any news place that you watch that just told you a trail derailed in Washington, you better wake the hell up and understand what you're looking at. You're looking at fear porn, at social programming, at made-up nonsense. So if they do that on the one hand, how can you ever trust a shred of information they give you? And this is what they do. They control the narrative. And much of the polling, they use this Tavistock Institute idea of the herd mentality, where they tell everyone, well, 85% of Americans believe this. And what that does is it makes, there may be a lot of people out there that don't agree with what the supposed 85% believe in, but they're afraid to stand up and go against the herd. This shit is all designed, man. It's all designed to push things in the direction they want. Throw all that crap aside. Throw whatever the hell the media is telling you aside. Don't buy into that nonsense. You know in your heart what is true. You know in your heart what is correct. Stand up for what those things are. Stand up for what is correct. If you listen to the news, you're just going to be led down, a nowhere street. So few people understand. The word news actually stands for north, east, west, south. You know why? Because it pulls your mind in all those directions to nowhere. The news has never been a place to inform you. It is a owned and operated thing by some of the richest, ancientest families in this world to control an agenda. That's what it's about, man. So you do what you think is right, not what the news is spouting off.
Hell yeah. And man, I agree with you. Real quick, we got a caller. Caller, before I get to you, Crrow, I want to ask you a question. On this whole net neutrality thing, man, it is over censorship. Now, I'm curious, did you see the fact that the Insane Clown Posse lost their case against the FBI?
Well, I mean, here, I don't want to badmouth anyone, but you're looking at a famous entertainer. The word entertain means to go in and hold your mind, going up into a court system. So how can you put much merit behind any of that, right? That's where I'm coming from.
So wait, are you saying you think that was a facade?
Of course. Almost everything that matters that goes up through our court system is to get precedence on the record. As an example, there's a man who's now brought the Sandy hoax nonsense to court something like 3 times. The very first time he did it, he was in the courtroom for something like 5 seconds when the judge said in the 12th district court or circuit court, this case is dismissed because you can't show any injury, direct injury. It's just to get precedence. It's just to show that it's been to court, and then it makes it harder for the next guy. Of course, if you think this game is played in a bubble, you're absolutely wrong. We live in controlled systems by the most powerful and richest among us. And of course they think of these things. When they put these false events out in the news, you better believe they've got a fake court case coming down the road to stifle anyone who would truly challenge it.
Hey, caller, who I got?
You know who it is, man. It's Bobby Waters.
Oh, it's Bobby Waters. Well, Bobby, hold up. Before I get to you then, because Steve didn't call in, but he wanted me to ask Crrow about the the Act of 1871?
Let's hear this, man. Let's hear this.
Well, he's going to make me look it up if he's not going to define it any better than that, which I'm doing right now. The Act of 1871.
Well, Burton, you're an asshole. You heard it here first.
Who's an asshole? Burton?
Because all he said was the Act of 1871.
But he's a great asshole. I love that asshole.
All right. So I see what he's getting at. This is, he's talking about an act that was passed. And by the way, an act is not a law. It's an act. Do we know what actors are? Do we know what actors do? Whenever you hear the word act, you better frickin' understand what you're looking at. It's just more of this nonsensical facade brought to us by the controlling powers. Basically what it says here is an act of Congress that repealed the individual charters of the cities of Washington and Georgetown and established a new territorial government for the whole District of Columbia, D.C. You know, these things matter. Most people don't care or ever think about it. Very few people understand that this country is actually, the law system employed is admiralty law. It's the law of the sea, the law of the pirates. This is becoming more evident every day. Yeah, absolutely. When you go and if you ever go into a courtroom or watch on TV and you see a flag with a gold fringe, you're looking at admiralty law. That gold fringe on that flag is not just decoration. And the Act of 1871 I don't remember who sent it to you, but it's echoing these ideas that the governance that most people think is in place is in fact not. And we can even show the date of when the United States of America became the United States, the corporation. And this plays into the whole idea of why we say the U.S. Navy and not the USA Navy, because the U.S. or United States is a corporation. So there's all that.
We're going to have to get into that deeper as far as it being a corporation, DKB, a little bit down the line. That shit's creepy.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, man,
Here's what it is, man.
That, looking up other shit as far as that they had enacted some bills that had pretty much made it to where the U.S. was a corporation and is ran exactly like a corporation.
Cops are just like
Which,
pirates now.
and my wife's saying cops are just like pirates, which I mean...
No, they are evil pirates.
Well, there's, you know, she's not far from wrong there. Unfortunately, your next door neighbor can be a police officer, and your next door neighbor's not trying to be a bad man. But unfortunately, the organization that he works for is being maneuvered into a position where they're going to try to control everything. Anyone can go look up, what the hell is it called, a DUN number? I think it's called a DUN number, D-U-N. I may have that wrong. But you can look up all the places that are corporations, for-profit corporations. Every single police outfit in this country has one of those numbers. In other words, they're a corporation, and people don't understand this. And so I will ask, who does a corporation
it's a fucking
serve?
9-to-5 job, just like anybody else. They're getting paid to do a job. Whether
That's
they
right.
do it well is based on individual fucking performance.
Well, it's a little worse than that because they're being directed to what is a good job and what is not, and what they're being directed to do is unconstitutional. But my point here is your local sheriff. There's a DUNS number. It's a corporation. It's a privately held corporation. Who does a corporation serve? When you ask that question, the average person doesn't really know how to answer. So I'll answer it for you.
They serve the board of fucking directors.
There you go. They serve
what the
two
fuck
entities.
they serve.
The shareholders and the board of directors. So that tells you something very important. If the United States is a corporation, is it serving the people? Hell no. It's serving the board of directors and the shareholders, and that ain't us.
Shit, that's China.
China's probably got more freedoms than we do at this point.
Sorry, we owe China a lot of money. So they obviously hold a lot of fucking shares. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we don't know anybody's shit because debts get paid, and those debts are never getting paid.
That's true. Wait, real quick. I want to know what fuck Steve Burton, Wolfgang Hellwig? What the fuck are you talking about, Burton?
Watch out, Burton's on some other shit, man. Every time he comes around, it's some crazy shit.
I want to... So, wait, Crow, does that Wolfgang Hellberg, does that, strike a note?
No, it makes me think about Amadeus Mozart, but that's about it.
Just get Burton to call in. Tell him to call in. Because he can explain things. He's crazy.
I think it's on some handy...
Sandy Hook. He's referring to the Sandy Hook, which, ladies and gentlemen, me and DKB went into the last episode in great depths as far as the false flags and the whole thing about them. But do you think that's another thing about net neutrality? Do you think they're trying to kick that down because they're afraid that all of these fucking false flags are just being found out?
Hell yes. Hell yes. You see, there's a problem. A human being can not make a false thing true. Can't be done. Human being can't do it. In the same way, we can't make a true thing false. These things are what they are. These people have told so many lies, and lies at a level that would stagger the imagination. Look at the moon landing. There's a lie that needs to be, upheld till the end of time. So you're absolutely spot on. All these false flags are designed to put fear porn and controllability into a society, and also to convince you that your fellow man is bloodthirsty, which is a lie. Your fellow man is not much different than you in almost every case, with very few exceptions. But look at this. During the Challenger launch, the first Challenger nonsense BS explosion, a bunch of things happened that if you go back and look at it now with eyes of the modern age and a brain of the modern age, you can see the nonsense for what it is. The teacher McAuliffe, that was going to be the first person put in space, when they chose her out, the president, she starts crying, and this is what she says, and I'm not even kidding. There may be one body going up on the space shuttle, but I'm going with 7 souls. All right? That's what the teacher, McAuliffe, says when she's chosen out to go up on this shuttle mission. Weird thing to say, but when you know that supposedly blew up, it starts to make it a bit more understandable. So in this country, they drag TVs into nearly every schoolroom because they want that fear porn in the mind of every child in every classroom because they got a teacher going up. So,
I was going to bring it up, but Burton beat me to it in the comments. So you think those guys are still alive from that particular...
Yeah, it's been shown. It's the same people they blew up the second time, and they're all still alive. One of them can't be accounted for. 2 of them are claimed to have twins to try to cover the lie, but let me go on here. So if at the time, this is before cable news cable was in every household, there were 3 networks, ABC, NBC, CBS. They all said the exact same thing the morning of the launch. This is what they said. So now the ice is cleared. Get it? ISIS. Now the ice is cleared, and the Challenger will go away. Not it will go to space, not it will launch, not it will do a mission, it will go away. They do this Hollywood skit, blow it up in midair, complete with the mercury horns in the explosion. It looks like mercury horns in their little Hollywood explosion they do. Then the actor-in-chief, straight out of Hollywood, Ronald Reagan, comes on and says this: "The future is not for the faint of heart. It is for the brave." He stands up there and he slaps everyone in the face. All you people out there crying who just fell for this nonsense, you are the faint of heart. The future's not for you. The future's for the brave. That's us. These guys who had the balls to pull off this nonsense in the light of day to fool you all. This is what goes on in our world. And this is much of what the podcast I put out every week covers, and this is much of exactly what you mentioned, why net neutrality is so concerned with censorship, because there's too many of us that can see without the glasses now.
This is what I think it all boils down to. I'm sorry to interject here, man. I want to just say my little piece. What it boils down to is it's the same thing as early fucking 60s shit, 50s shit. Every time there's been an issue, the government does not want us thinking free. Now, with the internet and with all this access to information, mankind has been freely thinking for years now. So we have all this information at our hand. You know, what do you do when you have a question? Everyone says, well, Google that shit. You know what I mean? So everyone's out there questioning everything, and there's answers out there for everything. There's so many answers, different answers, and they don't want us to see all this information. It's just like, you know, in the 60s, Timothy Leary predicted this whole internet fiasco to begin with, and how, they would control it. And, this is the new wave of visual tripping. You know what I mean? You can sit at a computer screen all day long and see what you want to see. You can pull things up just like that off the internet, and you're thinking in your own mind frame and your own thought waves, and they don't want us to do that.
Well, I would point out, though, that is going away as we speak. Did you know that the day they took out my YouTube channel, when I used to do a search for Crrow777, I would get something like 500,000 returns. The morning after they took out my channel, it was less than a page and a half. When they put my channel back, slowly the search terms came up. Right now, I get around 70,000 returns. Used to be 500,000. I've talked to people in Australia who get close to 200,000. People in other parts of the world who get differing returns. This shows you what is going on. It's one thing to censor people. It's another thing to decide what they will be allowed to see in a search return. So while what you said is absolutely true, I'm just pointing out the absolute necessity that people start to stand up against these corporations hiding behind the shield of a dead entity called a corpse, a corporation. Control what you're allowed to know, what you're allowed to say. This is already right here, and you're right. People have had many years now where they can search, think freely, and get returns. But as we speak, what they get to see on that search return is being totally controlled by AI at this point.
Well, not only that, it started with Facebook and Twitter, and the social media was the first one to jump on this shit by using the algorithms to promote ads to people. They were the ones that started this shit where we could see, you know, we can feed this to people. You know what I mean? And the other corporations picked up on this, and they use that same technology, but they're going to control what your search pulls up. You know, say you search for something, and the next guy searches for something, he could pull up something totally different based on the algorithms of him. They're looking at you, just like Google's watching you.
That's right. You make a critical point. For anyone listening who doesn't understand, when you get a service for free, you are the product. Facebook is free. YouTube is free. You are the product. So what he just said is absolutely true, and I'll point this out. My YouTube channel was taken down a few days after Jason and I posted a podcast, first hour on YouTube, and we talked about the Vegas false flag. And that's, in my view, what actually was the final straw. But you see, they were afraid to go put a strike on the video of two guys talking like adults for 2 hours, because that's openly, clearly censorship. So they attacked the Lunar Wave video. That's what I think happened. That's my best guess. But my point is, 2 days after Vegas happened, so many people were ripping it apart that both Facebook and Google rewrote their algorithms so that they could catch every single conversation that was being had about the Vegas false flag event. And that tells you something critically important, and that's not pie in the sky. I know for a fact this happened. Not only do I know for a fact this happened, I know people who are in corporate positions who actually understand, and we're seeing it happen in real time. That's how I know. So there's that. And these are telling things, man. If you hear someone tell you something like I just told you and you don't understand what that means, you're a little bit behind the 8 ball.
Man.
Fuck net neutrality. Fuck that bullshit, because there will always be another outlet. You know, they can try to take things, but as a people, we've learned over the years, you know, they took marijuana from us, they took alcohol from us. You know, there's things in the past they've taken, and we've gotten them back, and we've learned from these mistakes, hopefully, as a nation, as a world. You know, you can't take something away from us when we have this, you know, this is what we have with the interwebs and everything and everyone communicating that way. We have an unlimited brain. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Everyone can tap into this brain, get ideas, and share ideas. You can't take that away from people.
So for an organization that seeks to do one thing, which is own it all and control it all, in the same way that the Twin Towers went through a controlled demolition and were replaced with a single building called One World, hint, 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 that's what's going on in the global scene. And so what you say is true, but you got to realize when you have information exchange at that level on the interwebs, what do you think anyone trying to control the whole enchilada is going to go after? We're already losing freedoms online. The question just simply becomes, how many people in the young generation, the people born, you know, mid-90s, how many of those people?
They don't care. They don't care.
Well, they don't know it. They don't know a time before, you see, like I do. I remember the time before, which is why a big reason why I do the podcast, because I understand where we came from. And gaming, gaming is going to play a huge key role in this for social programming and everything else. And by the time we get to virtual reality, these people born in the 90s forward, these are going to be critical people. If these people do not stand up, that is a huge segment of the next generation that is just throwing away the rights that we once had. And unfortunately, gaming is going to play huge into this because we're talking about a group of people who have never known a time before the internet, basically, for the most part.
Yeah,
well,
man,
what
you
I
say
think
that.
that
Hey, you say that.
Go ahead,
Crow, and all it makes me think of is have you ever seen the movie Gamer?
I don't think I have.
All right, I recommend it for DKB. Have you seen that shit?
it is a badass movie. I'm not DKB though.
All right, you seen it? You ain't seen it though, DKB?
Ah.
All right, so Bobby's seen it. I think it's relevant.
It's the
to
dude
current
from 300,
conversation
right?
because it shows a society that has given itself up to a certain degree to video games and programming and to one particular corporation.
Right.
Yeah.
People,
and I agree as far as gaming could be a very big part, Crow. You're right.
Well, it's taken, you see, gaming crosses a threshold. Very few people understand that when the first Nintendos came out, the chip driving those little crappy graphics, 8-bit things back then, they were provided by the military. We were told that the missile engagement systems were using the very same technology, but let's set that aside. When you get up into gaming, what's finally happened that people who are as old as I am can remember, entertainment used to be a one-way thing. It was a one-way street. You went in, you viewed it. You didn't interact with it. What gaming did is it broke that wall. Now entertainment is 100,000 times more powerful because now I'm not just sitting there watching a good movie. I'm driving the storyline in that movie. I'm a character in that movie. It's a powerful, powerful thing. But you see, the social programming, color schemes, and all these other things have been put into gaming. And the thing that everyone needs to remember is gaming is entertainment. Words have meaning. The word entertainment breaks down to this: go in and hold your mind. That's what it means, and that's what it's designed to do. So gaming now, which is interactive, is going to have a huge sway on that young generation that does not remember anything before the internet, and that's unfortunate.
But what kind of sway is it going to have on them? Like, is it going to have a positive sway where they need these video games? Or is it going to have a negative sway where, they're like, well, I'll just get what they feed me?
It's going to have a negative sway. I have nephews that are big into gaming. As a matter of fact, a couple of them are ranked as world-class players in a game called Destiny. What we see is that when I was a child, I was out in the world. I was hiking mountains. I was doing things. What they are doing is hunching in front of a monitor in the room and wasting endless hours to maintain a rank that means nothing.
Well,
you see,
of course, yeah.
So there is the problem. You see, this whole game.
But as far as net neutrality, how is it going to affect them? Because they use networks to connect to each other now through their Xbox. You know what I'm saying? That's a form of communication.
Yeah, but it's simple. Really, it is very simple. The whole game of control is about brain cycles, if we can coin that term, and think about a human mind that can do things. Let's say that that's a cycle, right? If I go do math or I go hike a mountain, that's brain cycles. All these entertainment-based things occupy huge amounts of brain cycles, which ensure nothing that matters will ever be done. But when you get so addicted to things like gaming, it's not a lot different than a drug, actually. I've outlined how television has similar effects that opiates do on people and what happens to their brain. But let's get back to the point. So this bad thing happens, as you point out, like net neutrality, and maybe costs start going up. And all these people in the gaming community that are playing Destiny start yakking back and forth. Hey, man, this sucks. Hey, man, this sucks. You know what happens next? A new version of Destiny that kicks ass on every previous version of Destiny is released, and guess what? You get free armor with every purchase.
Okay. Well, in that situation, yes. But honestly, I think what will have the most impact on net neutrality is the people who pirate software, movies, music, games, those people who are downloading and need the sites that they won't be able to get, they're going to have be pioneers who find a way around this bullshit.
Well, let's take that apart for a second. Right now, the way the internet works is if you want a gateway to get onto the internet, you need an internet service provider. Net neutrality is about to hand internet service providers unparalleled power that they've never had before. So I suppose if people figure out a new way to get gateways onto the internet, what you're saying could be true. But in the current model that we have, the only way to get on the internet for most of us is through an internet service provider.
Okay, now, well, say you have that's what I was saying earlier. You need these ISP, an ISP to connect. So,
well, no, wait, hold on. Like, no. I don't care about. I want to know.
Go ahead.
Crow, do you think that VPNs are going to become more dominant if net neutrality does get entirely repealed?
I do think that what you just said is absolutely true. I have some friends that are black hats that help me do security because my website is constantly under attack because I tell the truth. And they are talking about VPNs. As a matter of fact, there's already plans in place where when the ISPs start to crack down on Crrow777radio.com, what can we do to combat it? VPNs may be a way forward, but you've got to understand that whenever you have a network that was put together and owned, well, it's basically created by the military as ARPANET, as so many of us are aware, it's going to be tough, man. You're going to have some smart people out there. VPNs, you know, it used to be peer-to-peer was a way around it in a way. Now VPNs are coming up. You're right. There will be people out there who are fighting against what's going on, but the problem is that's not the majority of us. That's the few hackers that are smart enough to get the job done.
But that's the few that will lead the way, man, and you got to stick with that. I mean, whether it's just one or two people fighting against it, at least there's somebody who will know a way around. And, you know, I'm pretty computer savvy myself. I'm pretty net savvy. I've been around the block. You know, I grew up in the 80s. I didn't have a computer for many years. Then all of a sudden I had one. Then I had internet. So I remember, you know, first finding the internet and like, oh my God, I can find anything here. You know what I mean? So
right.
It's you know, I stick with people, you know, I'll ride with anybody. You know, if you find a way around something, I'll find it. Just like, you know, I won't lie. I'm a pirate. I fucking steal my programs. I steal movies. I steal games. I steal all that shit, and I find a way around it. And I'll find a way around this
that
shit.
Live on the air, you fucking asshole.
Yeah,
hell,
well,
Bobby?
one thing I would point out.
Yeah,
one thing I would point out is you might not want to announce that, but you're right.
I don't give a fuck. Fuck net neutrality. Shut me down. Go ahead. You can't. I will find a way around it.
Well, don't shut down No Fucks Given Radio. I don't know what Bobby Waters is speaking for himself. Let's clarify this shit. God damn it.
I don't speak for No Fucks Given Radio. I speak for myself, Bobby Waters.
Yeah, you see, that's the problem right there. That is the problem. The point I would make here, guys, is what a few people can do is not going to be good enough. It's what a lot of people can do that's going to be good enough. And simply not accepting nonsense is a big deal. Look at my YouTube channel, guys. YouTube wiped me out, made the statement that they had zero tolerance for hate speech, and it was not coming back 2 days later.
But what exactly were you talking about? Because I'm not familiar with your YouTube channel. So what exactly were you talking about that they shut? They gave you that tag on it.
All right, let me be perfectly clear. There's about 4 years of telescopic observation, which is what they kept hitting with bullying strikes. But the podcast, the more recent podcast, we tell the truth. We see nonsense false flag events or anything else that is social programming and dishonest, from admiralty law to the United States being a corporation, to any of it. That's what we talk about. That's what they tried to call it.
I'm not attacking you in any way. I'm not saying that you hate speech or anything like that, because I heard they tagged you with that.
Wait,
it's
no.
ridiculous.
Hold
but
on.
I just wanted
Bobby,
wanted to know what you were talking about.
Hey, hold on. Look, Crow, don't let him lie to you. Don't let him lie to you at all. And I'll tell you what it is. It's because this motherfucker believes in Santa Claus, and you're sitting here trying to bring the death of Santa Claus. Yeah, by cult activity.
I am Santa Claus.
We'll be right back, motherfuckers. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah. And hey,
Uh.
Facebook Live. Wait, look. I know we got Burton. Burton, you're sitting there watching. You want to talk about that? Fuck, call in and talk about it, asshole.
Call
We'll be
in,
right back.
Burton.
Much love.
Call in.
because we ain't live on the motherfucking radio, but we live on Facebook. And I love, like, I heard fear porn more tonight than I think I'm really comfortable with, man. I'm just saying.
Well, it's what it is. If you listen to the news, you get a dose of it every day.
I don't even sound like the news, though. That sounds like some shit like...
That sounds like CSI.
Yeah, CSI, maybe, I don't know, maybe fucking, oh, excuse me.
Hey, the truth is always stranger in fiction, brother.
Oh, well, no, it sounds like fucking something humanity. Some shit.
I would probably look that up on a site or something like fear porn. What is this?
It is what it is, man. It's what drives the news in this world.
I don't know. I wouldn't suggest typing in fear porn on your Google search, though, especially if you've got the...
Right. You better not.
Yeah, I'm just, especially if you've got the fucking age restrictions off, God knows what you're going to come up with. But, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we ain't live on the radio right now. What you're hearing is Don't Open Till Christmas, yeah, by Bloody Ruckus, featuring Damon Quinn, Scum, Class, Gruesome, and motherfucking, yeah, that's it. But... Now, with our ladies and gentlemen, No Fucks Given Radio, I am your host, the Unknown Factor, with Mr. DKB in the house. What's good, bro?
What up?
Tell Bobby to shut up and start talking over him.
That's all good, man.
I'm just giving Bobby
contributing
shit, bro.
to the conversation.
Like to pirate fucker shit.
I didn't even say shit the whole time I was taking a piss.
What?
I didn't say shit the whole time I was taking a piss, man.
So great, you let me hear your urine stream. Thanks, asshole. Right? But that's besides the point, ladies and gentlemen. This is Aliens 8, my broadcast. Your broadcast, everybody's broadcast. Hopefully nobody's broadcast. Really, a bunch of fucking alien-ass assholes. Whatever. On No Fucks Given Radio, the official radio. For all y'all who don't give a fuck. And tonight we've been chatting with Crrow777. And man, Crow, it's been a hell of a chat. But I know we just had another caller, that being the one Steve Burton. I know Steve Burton happens to be a fan of yours. He's checked out quite a bit of shit. And we had a Flat Earth convention as well at the Pirate Fest. We'll probably be having one at Pirate Fest 2018 if you want to come out for a Flat Earth convention.
Yeah, everybody ganging up on me and Shell.
Yeah, we're going to have DKB. He's going to get in on it, man. It's going to be bad. You don't even know, Bobby, right? It's going to be terrible. All right. But, Steve, my wife wants a booth for the Flat Earth fucking debate. Jesus Christ. Look, but the point is we got Steve Burton in the house. Steve, how you doing?
I'm good, Factor. How you doing tonight? I'm glad you got somebody that talks the truth on tonight.
Hell yeah. Now, I know, man, there was a subject you brought up, though, that we hadn't got into yet. You want to ask Crow about it?
Have you got into any much of the AI stuff yet?
Yeah, we just did an episode on Crrow777radio.com where we covered the coming 5G networks and AI. AI has been around a long time, although it's just really kind of popped up in the news recently. And, of course, that's all tied to cryptocurrency. But, yeah, we just did a show on that to answer the question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hold up. Well, yeah, I got a question, too. Speaking of, like, how do you think net neutrality is going to affect Bitcoin and all that?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to fucking ask. Who's that dude? DKB? DKG?
DKB.
You're the shit, bro.
DKB, yeah.
DKB.
Well, if that's directed at me, Bitcoin is a construct. In the same way, at some point in this country, currency came off the gold standard and allowed the central bank, the Federal Reserve, which is not federal and is not a reserve, it's just private families, controlling all the money.
This is Federal Express.
Yeah, exactly. Bitcoin is that. Nobody knows for sure who made it. They've been putting it like as an example recently. They talked about it on the Big Bang Theory. There's a show that goes out to millions and millions of minds pushing the Bitcoin idea. The Bitcoin idea in that episode was that if you had bought or got your hands on Bitcoin back in 2010, that you'd be a millionaire now if you had much of it. Last time I heard, it was up to like $8,000 a coin or something like that. But here's the rub. Bitcoin is designed to, it's human bait. What Bitcoin is, in my view, is human bait. And basically it's going to be controlled by AI and blockchains and all these other things. And the AI doesn't give a crap about Bitcoin. The Bitcoin
I don't
is
think so, man. I don't think so. I don't think
but the
Bitcoin
blockchain is making AI smarter. Every blockchain transaction is making that artificial intelligence smarter.
That's why the Bitcoin is here, so that the blockchain can be built. It's all about AI. It's all about AI. As a matter of fact, the same week that we did the AI 5G network show, I got my Sky and Telescope magazine in the mail. Guess what was on the cover? The growing use of AI in astronomy. All of a sudden, AI is everywhere. Well, I got news for everyone. AI has been around for a hell of a long time. It's just now making its debut. This is just all systems of control. It's sucking people into it. It's sucking you all into a time when everything is online. When everything is online, then total control can be exerted. You know, a symptom of this will be when the last library closes its doors. That will be a milestone day in the existence of human beings, for the simple reason that Google, among other places, has been scanning every book ever written since probably the turn of the last century. What that means is information can be changed with a keystroke. When you're holding when you're holding a written book, it's going to say what it says. Not an easy thing to change. But when everything is digital, they could change the word murderer to some random dude. You know, totally changing the meaning of a thing. That's what this is about. And not only that, if I had to venture a guess, and this is a guess, an educated guess, Bitcoin will be used to topple the monetary system that we all currently use to get it all over online.
Well, why wouldn't they use PayPal? Why wouldn't they use PayPal that they already control? I think
because they want to take the currency out of it.
Right.
But I think
that's exactly.
They want to take the hand-to-hand currency out of it.
Else, not governmental. I think Bitcoin is the same people who are running torrents and shit like that, man.
But if they're limiting your internet usage, wouldn't that affect your ability to have money?
but for their Bitcoin, they're gonna that net neutrality is pretty much trying to turn your internet into Cablevision.
Right.
If you want the full internet, you're gonna have to pay a lot of money for it.
But if all your money is Bitcoin, how can you pay to have your internet? You can't access your money because you don't have
exactly.
internet.
Well, what's going to happen is they're going to make sure that everybody has it because they really want to change. They want to go to basic income for everyone.
Well, it's already being done. Yeah, like in Switzerland, they have one card for everything. That's where Bitcoin pushes. There will come a day if something isn't changed and people don't stand up for their rights. Probably 3 to 5 years from now, there will come a day when people go up to their ATM machine and the ATM tells them, sorry, you can't have money today. Your car license is out of date or some other nonsense like that. That is where Bitcoin pushes us. And the gentleman is absolutely correct because they have to separate it from currency. Very few people realize, well, all of our Western news demonizes the culture of Islam, an ancient culture. I might remind everyone listening. They had tenets in that culture that all currency must be backed by value. What that means is if they pass a dollar, it needs to be backed by gold or silver, basically. And what that prevents is central bankers from having their way and raping and pillaging the way they do here in the West. Okay? That's a tenet of Islam most people are not aware of, and that begins to shed light on why they're attacking that ancient culture who has nothing to do with terrorism, that the news would have everyone believe they are animals when they're in fact just people like us. To get back to the point, here in America, we came off the gold standard a long time ago, which basically means we've been passing around IOUs, but that's not even the half of it. The IOUs are written from a private corporation called the Federal Reserve, which is just owned by some families who make money up out of nothing. So the jump from that to Bitcoin isn't even really that much. Right now, we hand a piece of paper that has no value, that we all agree has value, and it's not even anything more than an IOU. In other words, we never pay any debt in our society now. We just hand around IOUs. What Bitcoin will bring is the complete obliteration of any sense that there is a physical world. You'll have some electrons balanced on the head of a pin that you have on a flash drive that you call currency that do not exist, that are not backed by value, but that is what you...
This was coming, man. We all knew this was eventually going to happen.
Yeah, but see, you're right. It does go this way, but there's a whole other side to this, and that's the AI and the blockchain idea. You see, AI is constantly learning. in the magazine I just referenced from Sky and Telescope, they were pointing out that the artificial intelligence they have to help them with astronomy actually writes mathematical equations that people can't even understand to do the job they're doing. But that's the half of it. The Borg idea in Star Trek plays into this because all AI seeks to interface with all networks and all other AI. And what it seeks to do is learn. So basically, when you look at a platform like Facebook or YouTube or any other thing, basically what you're looking at, if you boil it down, is Schoolhouse for Artificial Intelligence. That's what you're looking at.
So wouldn't that make all of us AI?
Well, that's an interesting point you make, and it shows a higher mind. I have read accounts that say if you question whether or not you could be AI, it proves you're not, because real AI would never ask that question. But there's the paradox.
Well, I know I'm an alien. I know I'm a motherfucking alien.
Bob, I know he's of a higher mind, but that's a whole different point, Crrow. But, hey, I do want to say real quick, Bobby, I love your fucking Federal Express. That's one of the greatest terms I've ever fucking heard in my life. And as far as AI, I totally agree with you, Crrow. I don't know how the fuck people don't think that that's a real thing. Do you motherfuckers not play video games? So you can tell how that shit got better.
Yep.
Well, video games are the ultimate data collection. You know, it's data collection on a level. You see, data collection where a person is being true to their heart, true, like a search engine. Like when you go to search for something, you're being honest. You're honestly putting into that search engine what you want in return. So that data is highly valuable. Now pull that over into the gaming world. But the gaming world's a bitch, man, because not only does it tell you something about the person's reaction time, their cognitive abilities, the way they speak, the way they use language, all of that is being collected. And for the poor people out there who just don't have a clue, you don't even know. You think you're playing some dude in Destiny who's based in Abu Dhabi. For all you know, it's a bot. Could well be.
Yeah. Fuck video games. I don't play that shit.
I don't either. But
unless it's Mario.
But actually, if you look at it, they have shut artificial intelligence down, some of the big companies, because it realized it made languages that we could not understand.
Well, that's where that's the whole Skynet idea. Yeah. There's all kinds of ideas to be made here. You know, people say, you've got to realize that if there is a controlling class, which I assert every week on my podcast, that they are bright enough to figure out that if they unleash AI, that could become a problem. So you would assume they put safeguards in place. But who's to say Keanu Reeves is not far from the truth when he states things like, no, we're not living in the Matrix. We're Matrix adjacent. That's kind of where I come down. When you begin to question the moon and the sun in your sky and whether everything's been to space and that space might be liquid and things like this, you begin to realize, where the hell are we living? You know, when you begin to question the description of the world and begin to understand what would be a natural explanation for how any of this got here, that opens up a whole nother can of worms. Who the hell knows, man? Maybe we're all laying on a table somewhere and it is a bit like the Matrix. The problem is these are almost nearly impossible things to prove one way or another. But I assure everyone listening, technology is not your friend. It has never been your friend, and it will never be your friend. And Bitcoin is your currency represented by a technology.
But use it as your friend to tune in to No Fucks Given Radio. What the fuck, Crrow? Don't you know we both use this shit to promo? What the hell's wrong with you?
There it is, man. You ask for an honest answer and it affects the bottom line. I apologize.
Like, damn, man. Hey, I'll tell you though, going into that and getting into a whole nother fucking can of worms, and you also saying the AI is going to want to integrate with every system. What do you think about the D-Wave and CERN and all that situation? And what they're bringing into it? And do you think that these things could intercede with one another and cause a very much, I guess, doomsday scenario would be the word? And I don't mean doomsday who killed Superman, motherfuckers. This ain't Super Nintendo. I mean, like, you know, we're all fucked.
Well, to say we're all effed, I mean, does that mean we all end or we lose our freedom? Could we lose our freedom? Hell yeah, we could lose our freedom. In terms of things like CERN, they've never told you a true thing. You know, in a recent podcast I did with Jason, we went at the announcement of the God particle, the Higgs boson. most painful episode of Nova you will ever watch in your life, proving to any person with a modicum of higher human mind that they've never told you a true thing, and that particles have literally nothing to do with whatever it is they're doing. These are hard things to know because we don't have a backstage pass. But when you walk up to the doors of CERN and you see Shiva the Destroyer, the average mind can probably work out that science and Shiva the Destroyer have very little in common. It's all a ruse. And what's actually going on, these are hard things to prove. But what we know for certain is that there are a group of people, probably the oldest families on the face of this world, or that's the claim they make. They're going for the whole enchilada, man. And it's not just enough to control or own everything or control all currencies. They want the Brave New World scenario. They want the animal form, the 1980 form. They want it lock, stock, and barrel. And that's what technology is aiming for.
So this is
I wrote that in the chat before I got in here, that I said everyone should read 1984 and A Brave New World.
Those are blueprints for where this is headed.
Absolutely.
1984.
Aldous Huxley, A Brave New World?
Yes.
A Brave New World, yep.
Yeah,
Orwell. Actually, Orwell.
Yep, George Orwell.
Orwell and Huxley both were surrounded by royal circles and the Tavistock Institute, who were responsible for so much of the social programming. When I talk about these books, and we've done episodes on it, I say this: 1984 is a projection of what the outcome might be or what they want it to be. Brave New World is a blueprint on how they get there, and 1984, or Animal Farm, shows some of the tactics they use every day. The sad part is that almost every kid in America that went through high school was required to read 1984, but they were never told the proper context. They were never told how to understand what they're being shown. I guess Lord of the Flies.
Well, hey, if we're talking net neutrality, Fahrenheit 151, well known. That right there alone, it should fucking inform these people, but no one even pays attention.
Well, you see, part of what goes on with the ruling class in this world is there's apparently a universal law that you cannot inflict your will on people's free will without tipping your hand, without warning them up front. The example I always use is if you went out into the woods and you put a bear trap to catch human beings that was hidden so well that it was impossible for anyone to know it was there, and you caught a human being, you'd have a huge problem, a karmic problem on your hands, because you violated a universal law of interfering with free will. On the other hand, if you put a sign up in front of the woods that said, you know what, maybe human beings shouldn't walk here, it's possible there's traps out there, in their minds, they have tipped their hand. You know, the whole movie Back to the Future exists for one reason. The original Back to the Future movie pre-echoes 9/11. It's what it's there for.
It does with everything.
Yeah, and so this is the tipping of the hand that we see over and over and over. And what they do... Waiting.
How the fuck does that movie have anything to do with 9/11?
Look at the Twin Oaks Mall. Look at
I just watched
the sign.
Hold on, man. This is a short show. Go the hell over to YouTube and look it up, man. You'll see people who've done the work. It's not arguable. It is what it is.
What are you talking about? This is a short show, Crow. We've been on for 2 fucking hours.
Yeah, well, that's the problem, man. I'm an old dude, and I'm getting ready to cut you off at the knees, man. I got to record in the morning, so I only got so much more time here. My point is
as much. And hey, Crow, you're more than welcome to come back on any time. I will say it's been a hell of a fucking pleasure to have you on, and the shit we've gotten into. And again, from myself and DKB, I know anything we've spoken of here, go and research yourself, ladies and gentlemen. The information is out there. It's a lot to sift through, and that's part of the bitch of it. But you have to be willing to sift through it if you want to, in any way, shape, or form, get to the bottom of what is the truth. I know Steve
While you can.
Yeah, exactly. While you can. But you guys are giving me a good out here. I've given you almost 2 hours. If you want to have me back sometime, you've got my contact information. Ping me. If I'm not slammed, I'll do what I can. Anyone out there listening can find me at Crrow777radio.com. That's Crow with 2 R's. I do a weekly podcast with Jason Linger, and the reason I got to go right now is because in the morning I am recording episode 87 with Jason, and we're going to be covering the decade of the 1980s, which is foundational to where we find ourselves. Before the 1980s is the time before. After the 1980s is the time we find ourselves in. Anyhow, before I go, is there anything anyone wants to say or ask me?
Can I just one time
say one thing, man?
You're listening
Go
to
ahead.
No Fucks Given
You
Radio.
go ahead.
I'm sorry, too many people talking. One more time.
Just real quick, Crow, say you're listening to No Fucks Given Radio.
All right, here's your radio drop. This is Crrow777, and you are listening to No for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge Given Radio.
Oh, shit, Crow, it's been a pleasure. For myself, DKB, you got any final thoughts?
No, hell of a show. I appreciate it. Learned a lot
Hell of a
tonight.
show. Again, catch me and DKB. We coming up fucking
Yeah.
Super Nintendo.
Definitely be tuning into Crrow, too.
Huh?
Then definitely be tuning into Crrow's channel now, too.
Yeah, and tune in to Crrow777, ladies and gentlemen. There's plenty of information there. You can get more fuck. We're probably going to end up discussing some of his videos on this show and then have to bring him back so he can discuss it more in depth. Because me and DKB don't know what the fuck we're talking about. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is Aliens Ate My Broadcast. And just remember, fucking, for real, it ain't the Grinch trying to murder Christmas. It's corporations. But this is How the Grinch Murdered Christmas by New Jersey Devils. Have a good night, y'all. And for Facebook?
Yeah, keep fighting a good fight, Crow.
All right. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Have a good night, y'all.
Hell yeah, man. It's been awesome.
Hell yeah, Crow.
All right.
Thank
Good
you,
night,
man.
guys.
It was a pleasure.
All right.
Oh, Bobby, you crack me up.
Hey, I pressed.
You cracked
why is
me
this
up,
Facebook
man.
live stream not? Look, we're still Facebook live streaming, y'all. I told it to end.
Good.
Well.